teach and do makeup for a living, and I get questions about eyeshadow all the time, so I just filmed a tutorial on this pretty matte bronzy eye look. So here's how I did it. Starting off just prepping my eyelids. My favorite way to do this is with my concealer. Just going to tap this all over the lid. Should look a little something like this. Then I'm going to take my pressed powder. This is the Charlotte Tilbury. You could also just use like a matte ivory eyeshadow shade or even your loose powder. I'm just going to set that all into place. As y'all saw, we're going to do something a little bronzy. I'm using my favorite palette, y'all already know. And the very first brush you want to start out with is a nice fluffy blender brush. This is my favorite transition shade ever, called UV Index. It's like the perfect warm matte brown. You could honestly use a bronzer for this. And I like to start out here really close to my lash line, almost where eyeliner would go. I like to first place the product, and then with the residue, I'll start to do my little circular motions, even these little windshield wiper motions, just to start blending it into the crease. You'll see that I like to take this up pretty high. Like I want it to come up near the brow almost. One little tip, I've mentioned this before, but I always imagine I have an invisible line connecting from the outside of my lashes right here to the outside of my brow, about like that. Never go past that line. If you start having your eyeshadow hanging out down here, it's gonna pull your eyes down. Switching to a smaller brush, whatever shade I take on the top, I always drag it to the bottom. I typically go about halfway. I don't like it all the way to the inner corner on my eyes, but don't neglect the bottom lash line. This makes everything super cohesive and look finished. We're gonna deepen this up a little bit. I personally recommend switching brushes, maybe to something a little bit smaller like this. I'm just gonna pick up a little bit of the next darkest brown. Essentially, we're just repeating that same exact process. I like to place it here in that very outer corner. And then one thing you're gonna slightly do different is this time you're just going to take this shade ever so slightly lower than the first one. So this one is going to get tucked more into that actual crease area. By doing this, we're going to create that nice ombre where it goes from like your brow bone shade, this really light, into like a medium brown down into your deepest brown. We want it to just flow very effortlessly. If you ever feel like you're having a really harsh like dome shape starting to be created and you see a lot of harsh lines, go back with the first brush or even a clean blender brush and just go over the edges. If you want a little bit of a smoked out lash line, you can take that same next darkest brown, repeat the process on the bottom as well. Feeling a matte eye look today, I'm gonna do is take my Too Faced Born This Way concealer. I'm gonna cut out the crease. This is a technique I really love doing just to add some good structure to the eye. I go above where my actual lid wrinkle is because this is gonna open my eyes up. I want to do more of like a bronzy lid. I'm actually gonna take a little bit of creamsicle and cookie dough. Just going to pack that all over where I just mapped out. Then going back with my blender, I don't want this line right here to be so harsh. Ever so slightly blend out that line so everything is more soft. I'm gonna take a little bit of sugar just to brighten up right at that inner corner. On a fun little smudgy liner situation, take a little Rare Beauty eyeliner pencil in the shade True Brown. I'm gonna start to smudge this right here at this outer corner, and then with an actual tiny little smudger brush into a really warm brown, also kind of flick it out into a wing here. Also gonna use this pencil and do my tight line, do some mascara, finish off this look, and I'll be right back. Makeup is all complete. I love how this turned out. Absolutely loving this matte bronzy makeup.